will be answered because I'm hoping and praying that in the next few years, I'll see some of you achieving your dream, uh, being in class with others, people from outside, across the world, and making sure that your dream has become a reality. Right. So I'm pretty sure, whatever, I don't know whether you have graduated or you are still in school, studying abroad is one of the best things you can ever have. Right. So as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm currently in the United States of America, and I had all my school time in Ghana, and with my PhD in the States, I'm seeing a lot of difference. So I wish you also want to just come and experience a whole lot of things. So it is my hope that you get all the right information, going for the right program, going to the right school, and making your dream of studying abroad a reality. I must say that I would like to know all the advantages of making a bold step to study abroad. Trust me. So before we proceed, yes, you want to study abroad. That's why we are here today, tonight, or this evening, whatever you are joining from. Yeah, and you want to receive information that will make your dream a reality. Right. So, uh, before you even think of studying abroad, right, I won't just accept your application, accept your details, and say, okay, I think go and study this, go to UK, go to US, go to Canada, go to Germany, and all that. No, you don't do that. So the most fundamental thing that I would like to know is your future career. Where do you want to go in the next few years? Right. So that doesn't mean that we just stand up one day and say that people are going to abroad, so I want to go. There should be a definite goal. There should be a career you want to achieve. So my question is, if you don't know your career, how will you even your future career? How will you even identify a program to study? This has been one of the bigger challenge most of my students face. I've been counseling students for 5 years now, and I can say that most of them, even after school, the course that they have read, they don't even know what to do with it. They don't really have a definite, future career. And if you are in this shoe, it is very, very difficult to even identify a course or a program to study. Right. So at this stage, it's very important or very cardinal to identify a specific career. Where do you want to see yourself if you want to study abroad? Where do you want to see yourself? Which kind of career? Knowing your career will enable you to identify the kind of program you want to pursue. Many people come to me, oh, I want to study in UK, I want to study in the US, I want to study in Canada, I want to study in Netherlands or whatsoever. And the next question is, which program do you want to pursue? Then they are stuck. They don't know. That has been a bigger challenge. In Ghana especially, we don't really we don't really take the trouble to counsel students to find out a special area where they can do exploits. So even choosing the program has become a big hurdle. Right. So in the quest of what studying abroad, the fundamental thing you need to know is what your future or career. If you know your future career, then you'll be working towards a certain program, right? That will help you get an admission. So most of the time, whilst you are in school and you know your career, you'll be able to work towards things that you need, okay, to study abroad, rather than even finishing school. I'm talking about bachelor, and then thinking of doing your masters in any of the countries, right? So yes, if you have graduated, fine. At the end of the program, you can still come to me. I'll sit you down. We analyze your strengths, your capabilities, and then you settle on one of the best career that will best suit you, and then you select a program for you, then you move from there. If you are still in school, that is wonderful, which means that you are taking certain courses and all that, which means you are still trying to find out where you belong. So if you know where you belong, then you'll be able to know which course to pick, which program to select, and all that. Right. So you cannot be able to identify your career right now. So at the end of the program, sit down, ask yourself, where do you want to be? Right. If you want to come to us and you're still confused about which program do you want to pursue, that's okay. We will help you out. At the same time, if you are the type who know what you want, you know what you want. It makes the work simple. That one, we literally look at your strength, your CV, your transcript, everything about you. Then you start the ball rolling. So the first thing you need to do is what? You need to what? Identify your future career. If you don't know, GSN Global Student Network will help you. Where I am the head of the counseling department of GSN, and I'll help you identify a specific goal, a specific objective, a specific or definite end, which means that it will tell you that okay, then going to UK will be the best, studying this program will be the best, going to US will be the best, or going to Canada will be the best. All these things are critical for us to identify where you should send you to. Canada, UK, uh, even Germany and all that, and US. So the first thing is what? Your future career before you even start your application. Now, why do you want to study abroad? Right? There are various of reasons why you want to study abroad. You should have a reason. Definitely, you should have a reason. I know for sure some of you have different kinds of reasons. Some of you want to join your parents in the States, in UK, Canada, yeah, and also some also have, I just want to expose myself in a new environment. Some of you want to see that, oh, so my girlfriend showed me, or my boyfriend showed me, so I want to go abroad. You see that I am succeeding. This is funny, but it may look like a very important what do you call it, reason why somebody wants to study abroad. Alright. So this is just by the way. Now, why do you want to study abroad? Most per my research I have done, if you look at the first stage, you realize that the overall is very big, which means the opportunity to stay on to start a new life, right? If you look at it very critically, most of them who want to study abroad want to change the environment, stay there, and maybe start a new life. Which most of the time you have to hide this thing from the uh, from the uh, from the immigration or from the visa center and all that. But if you look at it critically, people want to move to better their life. And I can tell you that people have made a bold step to study abroad and they have changed the narrative in their family. They have changed the poverty or chain in their family. Yes. And this has been one of the most reasons why people want to study abroad. Not even for to not really for to upgrade, but to change the narrative in his or her life, to change the narrative in the family, to change the narrative among his friends and all that. Right. So one of the best advantage you can ever get is to opportunity to stay on. Coming to the US, there are so much opportunities that you can take advantage of. Right. So after school, you still have the opportunity to apply for another school to stay, or apply for work permits to stay and all that. Or some people want to go, okay, when I come to abroad, I'm just going to get somebody to marry. I mean, original marriage as well, not fake. Or find love. Some people want to come to the state to find love. And when you find love in the state, you stay on forever. And you can change the narrative in your family. You can change the narrative in your. Some people are not also interested in staying, or not really to change the narrative in the family or to get other opportunities, but to build the profile. What is the next item? To build the profile to be so nice having on your CV. Any university that you attend in the United States, if you have it on your CV, you are good. Any school in UK is good. Any school in Germany is good. Any school in Canada is good. So in the near future, if you go back home and still work with your education and having schooled, let's say, University of Ohio, University of Toledo, Harvard University, uh, uh, Oxford University, if you have this thing on your profile or on your CV, there's a notion that you are good. You are exposed to different environment. And I must say that even though as a lecturer in Ghana, I've seen so much more difference in terms of practical. The skills, they're so vast different, right? So changing the environment and coming to the States or going to any foreign country to attain next education tells you that you have actually acquired different skills that most companies will need, and there's more of what trust. Next one is when you become more adaptable, because over here there's so much pressure, especially in terms of education. There's so much pressure, but what practical. We don't here. They don't test your memory. They test your thinking. You want to know what's in your mind. So you at the end of the day, you are strong, you are grounded, you have the skill ready to do something with your hand. You can become adaptable, you can go anywhere. You gain a global mindset. Your mindset change. You move from becoming a village champion to a global champion. Your mind changes. Your thinking pattern changes. The way you perceive things changes. How that people dress, different culture and whatsoever. Your mind changes, your perception changes. You understand? So you think global and all that. The next one is to increase your international job prospect. If you have education from the United States of America, from the UK, from Canada, from Germany, there's this notion that you are good. So they pay you well. They will select you and all that. There's more of what? Trust. So let's say, for instance, it will be very difficult to bring your masters from Ghana to work in the US. Somehow you can, but not so easy, right? But you can take your education from your certificate from US to Canada, Germany, all the advanced countries. But it's very difficult to bring your your certificate from the creating nation. When I say creating nation, I mean developing nation to work in here. The best thing they can help you for, you need to do some extra courses. So this tells you that more or less you have been marginalized. And to solve this, why don't you come outside, move outside, and then acquire new skills, acquire new knowledge to increase your job prospect, right? Then you build network. Just imagine going to Harvard, going to Stanford, going to Yale, and big school. Not even all the big schools, the average schools, Ohio and what do you call it, Toledo, Wisconsin, and all that. We have big men who are there, big men. So just imagine having connected with your classmate is a son of Bill Gates, your classmate the son of uh, Joe Biden, your classmate the son of what, Trump, other big men. Most of the big men, even in Africa, they send their wards to come here to study. So you become friends with them, you build network. So right after school, they call you, oh, Kwaku, what is going on? If you want to go back to your home country, what is going on? Then they'll tell, okay, I'm working on it. Okay, I think my father has opened another branch, and I knew you were really brilliant during school time, so I want to connect you. Then they connect you. So you know that if you within that circle, you are you build it up, you reconnect with other people, you reconnect with great people. Okay, you don't have to connect with those below. Connect with those who are above you. They'll help you. Remember, your network will determine your net worth. So there's no way that you can compare studying abroad with your local or your local school. No, 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 no. I am still teaching in the University of Ghana as a lecturer, but I am telling you that if you have the chance, come here, upgrade, expand your thinking pattern, expand your mental horizon, go back home, you see the difference. Right. So over here, I'm taking a lot of things that in future I'll go back home to what? Help my home country. Right. Somewhere in future. And there's so much, that you can what, attain from. And the next one is the last one is what? To to learn uh, intercultural or communication, right? So if you want to go to Germany, you can learn new language. If you go to China, you can learn new language. And some Korea and whatsoever countries that have new languages, you can have the opportunity to learn their languages and learn their way of life. So that usually when you study abroad, your thinking is different. When you go on platform and those who have studied abroad, you realize that the way they think, the way they perceive things, the way they bring out things is very different, right? So how do you want to study abroad? You have your peculiar reasons, but these are some of the basic reasons I have presented to you, right? So you don't need to waste time. Make all the means, make all the go through all the challenges and come here. You change the story of your family, you change the story of your life, and then you can change the story of your community. You can come here, become rich, go back home, change the whole your entire community and be the champion. Right. Planning to study abroad before or after. As a lecturer, I always indicate that right from level 100, if you want to study abroad, then start from there. If you have a goal of studying abroad, your life changes. Your way of life is different. Okay, the way you perceive things is different. The way you study is different. So, one, if you want to study abroad and you realize it early while you're on campus or you are still schooling, then you can take the opportunity to go and look for the courses that you intend to pursue in the future. So whilst you are on campus, then you're looking at some of the requirements from the program you want to study in the future. Okay, the program that you want to study in the future. Right. So you realize that you know how to work towards a peculiar GP. Okay, right. I know that right after national service, I'm going to apply to the United States of America, one of the best schools, to pursue my postgraduate degree. Okay, let me check that their GPA. Okay, hey, what is my GPA now? No, I need to set up. So right on the door, you write somewhere where you can easily see it. That okay, I want to go to I want to go to University of Ohio. What is their GPA requirement? You write it boldly, place it somewhere. Every morning you watch. If you watch the kind of GPA you need for the next future, you know the kind of friends to choose, the parties not to go, the program to choose, which is the next one. So the courses to take. So having identified the program you want to do, you always, if you look at their website, they will indicate the background, the course background, right? Well, so in choosing courses, you know, okay, I want to pursue data science. I want to pursue management information science, MIS. I want to pursue information system. Okay, I know that they say they want to have those who have some kind of IT background. So if you are studying human resource, you can come to information studies department and be picking what IT course, right? You're picking what IT courses because the course you want to pursue in future will require IT. So why not pick IT field courses from that department? Or if you are in the IT department, like information studies, computer science, now you know what the requirements. So you choose courses that are more related to what you want to pursue at the end of the day. That is also wonderful. Right. You may also see that sometimes they require writing sample or they want you to do some publication. Right. That is, you have already seen the future. You are preparing towards it. Right. Some of the courses, like most of the IT courses and all that, they don't really require some writing. I want to say writing sample. I'm talking about long essay, projects, where publications and all that. But when you go to sociology, psychology, some of the sciences, most of the time they pay much emphasis on what? Writing samples. Okay, so the question that I want to do long essay. I'm also say that writing sample or long essay is not a necessity for you to go to graduate school. However, there are certain courses, as I said, psychology and some of the science courses. But when you go to the business side, humanities and all those things, you don't really pay much emphasis on the writing of samples, right? So you can choose not to do long essay, right? Okay, I didn't do long essay. I combined during my time for a reason. Okay, but I still, when I got to the graduate, when I was doing my masters, I was a top student, best thesis student, and at the same time became the valedictorian during my time for my master's degree. Okay, because I foresaw that uh, the program I want to do, they don't really require long essay, so it's not really a big deal, right? But sometimes you want to do long essay to expand your thinking pattern, to expand your experiences and all that, so that at the graduate level you can make it easy. Now, voluntary activity. Let me also say that those of you who are only focusing on getting first class and second class, that's not the only thing they look at. They look at voluntary activities. I must say that me getting my PhD here in the United States of America, one of the things that one of the professor told me that your CV look excellent, your CV look good, and my CV is encapsulated with so many voluntary activities. Not only your GPA. Not, I know somebody in Ghana who has 3.97. He's still struggling. Who has 3.95. He's still struggling. Why? Probably because there's no voluntary activity. There's no experience. So voluntary activities are very critical. So you are still on campus or even after school service, try and engage yourself in some kind of voluntary project. Join Transgenerational Thinking International, which I am the head. Join some of the activities your association is doing something. Join them. Put all those things that you do whilst you're on campus on your CV. I must say that the white people value these voluntary activities even sometimes even more than your GPA. Sometimes. So pay attention. If you are done with school, fine. You can still engage yourself with some voluntary activities. Go to somewhere and go and teach. Go to here and go and teach. Put it on your CV. Host program. Put it on your CV. It will add up. This tells you that you're not only looking at your GP, but they also look at your voluntary activities and the work experience. So you also know where to work towards the kind of program you want to study. Don't wait after school. If you are done with school, you still have to engage yourself. I mean, before now, apart from service, do some voluntary activities and get some experience. Enrich your CV is very critical. Now, some of the program may require a test score like TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, and IELTS, right? These are some of the test requirements. Let's say, for instance, you are physician on a particular course that this is what I want to do, and realize the case, this program, no matter what, they say that they need test score. And I must also say that you don't need test score to come here. But some of the programs that you really want to do require what? Test score. Which means that while you're on campus, you prepare toward your test score. You even you write this test before you graduate. Well, after school too, you can still write it and pass. But if you're the type who don't really want to worry yourself with any test score whatsoever, then you have to look for schools without this test requirements. I have heard a lot of students who came here without any GRE, without any GMA, without any IELTS whatsoever, which is there, right? But as I said, some of the programs that you may want to do may require, so we need to take. And then also, one of the reasons why sometimes the test score is very important is the fact that it increases your chance of getting scholarship. I might also say that most of the courses too, you don't need test score, but you can still get scholarship. Okay, so this is where global student network comes in. So they comes in to look for schools. So what we do is that we serve as a coordinator. You consult the school with regards to your transcript, okay, and then if you don't want to write any, if you want to disturb yourself with any test or whatsoever, we look for the school for you and making sure that there's no need for any test requirements, and there's more assurance that you may get funded. There's a lot of funding opportunity that the next speaker will speak on that. Dr. Maxwell Frimpong, he has been here for 5 years now, and his one of the things that he does is to help students get scholarship, fellowship. There are a lot of funding. You have fellowship, assistantship, scholarship itself, and there are a lot of, over here, those rich people, they donate to the schools. Every year they donate huge sum of money to the schools. Then the schools begin to share it among needed students. Okay, so the next speaker will talk more on the scholarship and the fellowship. That will help you pursue your academic goal over here in the state. Because even if they give you half funding, unless your family is rich, you can't come. And if you go and bring so many, what do you call it? So many bank statements from different. If you bring so much bank statements, it make your you talk about visa too. It make your visa suspicious. There's what they call potential immigrants. So most of the time, if you have the funding, if you have assistantship, scholarship, and other thing, it tells you that okay, you can able to cater for yourself. So the school will help you out when you come here in the state to study, right? So there are so many funding. Some of you have, I know some of you might have applied to school without getting the funding, and I can assure you that you can't come unless your family is rich. When I say rich, I mean rich. When they give you like pay your school fees is like $40,000, and the school give you $5,000. That $35,000 times six, you are somewhere you can't pay. So you need scholarship, you need the funding and all that. And then some of you just randomly select school. I want to go to this school. You just writing. You just want to start the application quickly. No, you need to do a lot of background check and all that. All right. So GSN at the end of the day will tell you what we do and then how we can help you pursue your academic goal. Right. So identify the best school. So what GSN does is that we take your transcript, we take your CV and other things. Then we look for school. The first thing that we look at is what? Acceptance rates. Some of you might have applied to different schools. Always rejection. Why? There's a problem. There's a hidden problem. Now the first one is what? Acceptance rate. Some of you have heard about Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and whatsoever. Let's check their acceptance rates. Now look on the screen. On my right hand side, can you all see 4%? If you can see, say yeah. Can you see 4%?
Yeah.
Now 4%. This 4%, students from, you know that even people from Germany, Canada, UK still want to come to the United States. They all want to come. Indians, they are really sharp. When I say sharp, they can score like 99, 98. You that you have been scoring the 65 and the 50, 68, you still want to compete with them. So to me, as a counselor and then as a member of Global Student Network, we check the acceptance rate of the school. If it is too low, I won't advise you. You just waste application, what do you call it? You just waste application fee. They will chop your application fee for free. No, your chances of getting it is low. But however, I don't stop you from applying to start schools. Maybe you have about 3.97 with excellence. You can try your luck. But the propensity of you getting admitted to your school in the US means that you need to check the acceptance rate. Which, looking at Stanford, 4%. Acceptance rate 4%. And your GPA should run around 3.9, 3.8, and thereabouts. before you can come there. So usually, I advise my students that, or applicant that, well, let's look at not too low, but somewhere within. Just come here, just and you just need the opportunity to enter. That's what you need. Not really the prestigious school. So some of them are, oh, my GPA is high, so I want to go to Harvard. Hey, sometimes the whole year they can admit only 5 students all over the world. Five, oh, five, and you are there. Okay, I'm not stopping you to dream big, to grade schools, but what is the chance of getting admission? While there are so many middle schools, don't say middle schools, within the middle ones, who are ready to what, accept you and even give you funding. People, so most time applicant doesn't know all this. So they just randomly pick schools. Okay, I've seen Ohio. Okay, oh, I've seen Stanford. Oh, I've seen this. I've seen that. Then they just randomly apply. The acceptance rate is very critical. So we check all this background acceptance rate, even have conversation with the coordinators, with some of the professors over there, and we make sure that acceptance rate is high before we help you start your application. And then let's look at, so these are the top schools in the United States. These are the top schools. Now realize that the top schools, the acceptance rate is very low. Now let's look at Harvard, uh, University of California, MIT, Yale University. Yale has acceptance rate of what? 6.1%. Oxford University, Columbia University, New York, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so my advice is that sometimes, yeah, some of you want to come here, that's okay. So what we do that, well, if you still insist you want to want, this is this high top schools, you can apply for you one of the top schools, and then we add about other 2 or 3 schools which are in the middle. Then there's a chance that if the top one doesn't pick you, the middle one will pick you, or the third one. We have community schools also there, which they can also, who are looking for people to admit. And then even in the state here, some of the cold areas, people don't really want to go there. So sometimes we push our students there. Acceptance rate is very fast. We have done a research work and we can help you get admission. Right. So these are schools that are very with with low acceptance rates, which means that your chance of getting there is low. Right. But if you want to go there, then I advise that you apply to multiple schools so that you can increase your chance. Yes. Now, these are the other schools and all that. Now, let's look at this. The Ohio State University. Let's look at the acceptance rate. 54%, which is good. 54, which means that my chances of going to the Ohio State University is high. So I would like to go to Ohio State University. Instead of focusing on Harvard, you focus on Ohio because there's a chance, right? Then University of what? Wisconsin, 77%. They need people. Not that it's a bad school, but the acceptance rate, mostly for Africans, is very high. Any university in the United States cannot be compared to any African school in any African schools. Their standard, you can't teach below standard. Their standard is equal. Just that those big schools, they started in the early 18s, 17s, 16s. So the name is there. But over here, if you're going to apply for a job, your Harvard or your Yale University doesn't increase your salary. It doesn't increase your chances of getting a job to do. All what they do is, okay, fine, you attended, you went through schooling, you've gone through education in the state, which means that you have gone to the standard. They will employ you, they will hire you, right? So if you go to Harvard and somebody went to what, Wisconsin or Ohio State University, and the one Ohio State University can think critically, can analyze things, can solve problems, then your Harvard will not take you nowhere, Right. So right now, all what you need is what entry and the right course. This should be your focus. And GSN and Global Student Network will help you to select the best schools that will help. Right. So starting your application and all that. Right. So you have to go to the program overview, the program overview of the program. Okay, you need to check their GPA. Some of you think that lower you can't come here. It is what? It is not. It is an erroneous notion. Okay, it's an erroneous notion. With 2.6 upwards, you can still get school in the United States. That is lower. With 2.6 upwards, schools that I know here take it. And then even the white people, they are very wise, so they understand things. Some of the schools with where if you want to apply with lower, they indicate that if your GPA is below 3.2, 2.70, 2.7, they will tell okay, you want to write sample test, you want to write a standard test, go and write GRA, go and write this. However, some of the schools too, irrespective of your GPA, they may not ask you to write GRA, but they'll tell you that in your statement of purpose, explain why your GPA was low during your undergrad level. And I can tell you that you have helped students with such instance and you got an admission. So sometimes, because of your low GPA, you put your hand in between your legs, in between your laps, and say that the world has going to abroad has ended. That has ended. No, there's a way out. There are many schools in the state where with lower you can go, but we have to help you strengthen your problem statement of purpose, your intent, and critically analyze why your GPA was low, and how have you built yourself over the years to solve it, and indicate that you'll be successful at the program. You write a very juicy, convincing, with plausible instances that indicate that there's a high chance of graduating during when you go to the program. So 2.2 lower is also good. First class, excellent. You first class, upper you make the work simple. Lower you work on it, you make it better. You have your chance of getting admitted to any of the schools we can fit you in. Now your required background also very important. Let's say for instance, you read IT courses and you want to go and do psychology. There's no link. Remember, your background, the courses that you do should have a link with the one you want to do in the near future. Okay, you need to check the required background. There's indicated that we need people with IT background. We don't have it. So what do? Maybe you have to go and take some professional IT courses to increase your chance of getting admitted. You understand? So you need to do all this. You need to check all this. And then standardized tests. Some of the programs, no matter what, they need standardized tests like GRE, GMAT, and all that. GSN also help those who are interested in writing these tests. We coach you, we help you out to write the test to increase your chance of getting admitted and getting funding. Then writing sample. Writing sample, I must say that it's an added advantage. When you writing sample, most of the time I'm talking about long essay and all that. If you have it, you have to check whether they require, then you upload. If you have it, fine, it increases your chances. Then statement of purpose. One of the most important things about statement of purpose, which we will have to look at, right? Very, very, very important. So with statement of purpose, I have some items here. I'll be anywhere soon so that the next speaker will come in, right? So let me see what I have here. Right. So system of purpose, usually you have to identify, do you have any award recognition, why the choice of the school, no, your detail, you have to chronicle your history, and then what problem do you want to solve, uh, uh, what problem will you solve when you return to your home country? Meaning that you want to go back home. I know for sure some of you when you want, because you have come here not because you want to go back, you want to stay, but you have to indicate critically that maybe somewhere in future indicate that you will what go back home. When you're writing a statement of purpose, indicate you have to indicate that you go back home and solve a particular issue. That's what we normally focus on to make your statement of purpose very great and very strong. And then, why do you prefer to be enrolled in the university? There are so many universities. Why do you want to enroll in this particular university, not your home country? And then maybe you have to have a conversation with some professors. And then, what special skill do you have? And then, do you have any writing sample? Work on your GPA. If your GPA is very high, highlight it in the statement of purpose, which will going to guide you and do all that. And some of the promising words. And the most important thing in your statement of purpose is problem you will solve after a program when you return your home, when you return to your home country. You state it categorically in your statement of purpose. Even though you may not want to go back, but state it. This will tell you that you people want to know, they want to help Africans. So they want to know how you coming here will help your community solve a particular issue. This should be this should be something that you should focus on. Then connecting with potential supervisors, uploading your transcript, uploading your CV. You help you with your CV. You have scholarship CV, you have application CV, and you have work CV. The GSN will help you will train you and make sure that your CV is standard. Then recommendation letters will help you how recommendation letters should be sent and something, and then payment of your application fee and all that. Most of the time, those of you who subscribe to GSN services, we give you some 20% discount of your application fee. We pay some for you, right, and make your work very easy, right? So after submitting your application, you waiting for your admission decision to make. If you accepted, they will issue I-20, and I-22 will help you with the processing of the visa, visa and all that. Okay, so if you accepted, they will issue I-20, and then the visa application to will help you out. Then maybe you may want to submit another test afterwards and all that. Right. So this is what some of the things you need to go through. So Global Student Network was established 5 years ago to help students. And they have helped so many students to come here in the States, UK, and other countries. Okay. So what GSN does is that GSN identify the best school or the program that best fits you. You don't randomly choose a school. Then we look at your student profile building, right? We take your CV, we take your transcript, we take your work background, where you do your service, analyze all this to make your application very strong and very promising. Then your statement of purpose, everything that you need to make you win the acceptance, you do it, right? So as a counselor, as a lecturer, being partner with this organization, I help you out. I know what my students need. I know what you need to succeed, right? And I also gone through the process. Coming here to do PhD is not a joke. So all these things should also be considered. Then scholarship, assistantship, and other sort of fund. If you don't have this, you may not be able to actualize your dream, which the next speaker is going to speak on it. You can get all the admission, but if you don't have funding, you can't go anywhere unless your family is rich or somebody wants to sponsor you. Then you also look at the visa processing. So with the visa processing, we coach you. So now we start by looking at what we call the DS-160. You need to fill a DS-160. Even small mistake, you can be rejected during the interview. You can be rejected. You have done all the struggle. So one of the big game is at the visa interview. You have experience, so we give you all the tips. So you complete the DS-160. If there's a small mistake on your DS-160, you go back and come back another time, or you'll be rejected. So making mistake should be avoided. Blenders mistakes are not tolerated during the American visa interview. anywhere, UK, Canada, you can't even go there. Don't make mistake. And then you assist you in payment of your visa service fee. You pay here in the States. You don't struggle, and then booking for visa interview, and then visa interview coaching. So from day one to, so that you don't show that you won't come back. You give you all the tips. You coach you very well. Serious coaching. Then you help you with the booking of the flight, and even when you come to the States, you guide you where to pass, how to do your thing. Don't waste time. You plan your life well. If you want to stay, you stay. If you want to go back home, you go back home, depending on what you want to achieve. Right. So GSN Global Student Network, which I'm a partner of this organization, right? Okay. I am not the CEO. I'm just a partner. Okay. The CEO is about to speak. He is the Dr. Maxwell Frimpong. He has been here for the past 6 years. He's the CEO, and I am the partner of this organization to help students and all that. So what the organization does, the organization charges 500 cedis for all the process from the beginning to the time you get your visa, and when you come, you land here on the land of what opportunities. That's the United States of America. Okay, so we help you throughout the for an application, identifying school, visa, statement of purpose, writing sample. So all the process, you don't do anything. You don't really do. We only require information from you. You apply on your behalf, right? And that is all. 500 is the most cheapest amount you can ever have. Usually, the best you can get is 1,500 or 2,000 for this work. But this GSN does it. I said, why not? Then why don't I be part of it? Like I also help my student way back in Ghana because of the a lot of testimony I have heard. Why don't I also join this great vision and uh, help my student back in Ghana for them also to come here to have some great opportunities, right? So I am done. If you have any question, you can ask. So the next speaker, Dr. Frimpong, Dr. Master Frimpong is now about to uh, take you through the funding, okay, the scholarship, the followership, all the money you need. You don't need to pay, you don't need to struggle to study in abroad. He's going to teach, handle that, and then we're going to launch our websites. And don't if you go, you're not going to benefit from all the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities coming up right now. So right now I'm going to take your questions, and then I'll let him come in, and then he will take you to one of the fundamental things: funding, scholarship, followership, and other things that will make your academic goal a reality. So no matter how, if you log out, make sure you come back, because this is another stage which is very important. Okay, now the questions. Few questions, then Dr. Maxwell will come in. Yes, what's the name? Henrietta, right? Henrietta.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for all you said. I've actually picked up a lot from
Okay,
what that you said. My question is, you did mention GSN takes 500 CDs for the whole process,
good.
from the beginning till yeah. So I wanted to ask, what if someone has already gotten admission and the person actually wants you to help with the I-20 and all that stuff? How is that? Is that possible, or you don't
Yes,
do
that,
that? You
that
do
that's also
the
that's
whole
also
process?
possible. That is also another service, which is the visa,
Oh, okay,
which is the
okay.
visa application, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you does visa application also. So visa application is also rigorous. So you take it through all the process so that I don't make mistake. Because where
And
we have gotten to a critical stage, and losing your visa because of certain
okay,
is going to be very something that you need to take advantage of. So we does it. So after the program, our numbers will be made available. If you're on our platform, you can pick my number. Okay, right now let me even put my number there before I forget. The number is 027 027 59 894 027 57 99 894. You pick this number. Some I think some of you might have received, might have sent your transfer and you receive direction that send your money to my account. Yes, the organization, I was representing the organization in Ghana, so that was why my account was used. But very soon, the organization will get its own account. So if you see my name, then somebody have to call me to verify whether it is authentic. Yes, it is authentic. Authentic. So you can go ahead and pay the 500 cedis, and the application will start right away. Okay, so that
Yeah,
whatever.
no,
Mhm.
no, just a quick one to add to Henrietta's question. So, yeah, as Noah said, yeah, we do that. But I think the visa side too is very, very important, especially once you get admission and you start processing your I-20, you need to be paying the service fees, which can only be done here in the US. So definitely that is where we come in as Global Students Network. We can help do those services for you. So just get in touch, and I think we can throw more light on that specific service that Henrietta was requesting.
Okay, all right. And I hope they're good.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Samuel Kabute.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Noah, for this insightful presentation. I want to ask that with the statement of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
um, for example, you made an illustration that sometimes you would state whether you would want to stay in that country, you have plans for that, or you might want to return to your home country and cause a change or something like that.
Right.
I want to know whether does that affect the selection in the sense that, let's say if you plan to come back to your country, would it be like a disadvantage for you, or if you like to stay over there, would that
No.
be a
Okay,
disadvantage?
yeah. I get your question. Very brilliant question. Now, never on any, never on your statement of purpose should you indicate that you will stay here and work. No, never. If you do that, even the admission you not even get, let alone getting visa. Yeah. So what with that is,
Mm,
yes, maybe you would like to come back, or you would like to stay here for a while. You need to be silent on that. So what you need to
okay,
emphasize is that you are going to come back home to develop your community.
okay,
That's what you're looking for. So
okay.
GSM can also help you chip in whole lot of things that will make you strong. Okay. All right. So the next person, what's the name? Yeah, yeah, Albert, right?
Okay, thank you, sir, for a wonderful presentation.
Okay.
So my question is, with the 500 cities, like after paying it, are you supposed to, with the application fee, does
Yes.
it include the application
No.
fees or you pay the
Fee,
application fee
application
separate?
fee for most of the for most of the American schools are ranging from 75, sometimes 65, $100. Right. That's different from the 500 is what the organization charges for helping you throughout the process to get your visa, to get your school and then to get your visa.
Okay,
So, but with the
so,
application fee, you have to pay yourself.
okay, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So there are more questions to ask. So okay, let me take Ifa on so that at the end of the next presenter, then you ask all your questions so that you don't waste time. Ifa, let me take Ifa a free. Then I'll.
So I want to know that the state all the school take the GRA and the TOEFL.
Mhm. You want to ask whether the school take GRA and TOEFL?
All the schools, yeah.
No, not at all. Even after the COVID, my school like this, my school. During our lectures, the professor said they are even doing experiment. They have waived the GRA to check whether even with that GRA how the student would succeed. Okay, and then if you look at most of the websites, because of the COVID, they have waived the GRA. and not even the COVID, even before COVID, some schools don't require GRE. So we will have to look for those schools for you, and making sure that in as much as there's no GRE requirement, you still have a chance of getting funding. You understand? But if you want to write a GRE too, that's also good. You can go ahead. All right. So I'll leave my contact at the chat room, and then our WhatsApp link for more details. And after Dr. Maxwell comes in, then you can move from there. Thank you so much for your time. At this point, Dr. Maxwell will take over. Thank you.